What's up, everyone? I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry for the late thing. Wi-Fi is down at the office, so we're trying to figure that out. I'm going off my hotspot, so hopefully it's smooth throughout. I'm gonna open up my MLS right now, and then that way we can get started. Um, if you guys recall, um, the point of this Zoom is to research deals, see if we find any deals for our clients, potentially for ourselves if you're into that, and understand the numbers over time. So the more of these that you hop on, the more times that you really understand how to run the numbers and analysis, the better you're going to get overall as a realtor, as an investor, as a consultant, advisor. So um, cool. Also, the second part of this is if you guys have any deals you want me to look at, I could run the numbers and just give you my opinion on them, whether it's for your clients or yourself. So, if you have any of those, just unmute yourself, or you could just throw it in the chat and then just let me know that it's in there. All right, cool. So let me get started. Here we go. Hey. All right, so here's my home page. I'm gonna go to contacts and see what's there. So I'm gonna type in Voltaire. Lepe. I have a search for myself. I call it Voltaire Lepe Investments. And there's 11 new matches. So here we go. I'm going through, and you're just going to hear me say yay or nay and why. So, Armacost, nice street. Um, I remember I saw the property there a while back. Actually, my client passed away a couple months ago, or even less, actually. Um, Really nice guy. But they start off at 900 down to 800. This is not a deal. This is just maybe market at best. It's a nice street, but might be worth a little bit less than that 800 right now. Pentecost, it's a two-bedroom, one-bath condo in the hood. Not a deal. Just gonna keep moving. Condo for 503. By the way, condo prices, obviously we've talked about it before. They're just dropping. They're continuing to drop, which is good for your buyers. Uh, Crenshaw, 92105, City Heights, 839. My first reaction was overpriced for sure, 822 bucks a square foot. Let me see, I never seen this street before. Crenshaw, let me see what part of. Oh, this is a good pocket. I like this pocket. Um, it's super clean. Not a lot of people know about it. Um, in between the 805 and the 15. Like this is a nice little pocket. Like if you ever go in here, it's clean. 5,500 square foot lot, 839 seems about right, I would say. And it looks like there's maybe like an ADU or something. I'm not sure. Um, so it's not a deal, but if you have a client that's looking for a property that's clean in a decent neighborhood, this is a good neighborhood. Um, all right, so that's that. Let me go to the next one. So, okay, now we're talking. It's a triplex, 21st Street, um, 1.35 million. I love to see that price. Why? Because I have a property on 21st Street, probably a block away. That's a triplex, and I can see downtown. I could walk to a ballpark. When I go to ballpark, I just park right there and walk straight down to the ballpark. And they're asking 1.35. I bought mines for how much did I buy mines for? No, not 200,000. I bought it for like six, six something, I think, 2 years ago. And I bought it because I thought it was worth more. I thought it was worth 1.3. So hopefully this one sells. Oh, okay. Look at years ago, someone offered me all these houses. This one, 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 this entire like corner block area. And I didn't buy it. I didn't have enough money, but I like this pocket because it's close to downtown. It's nicely fenced. The inside isn't like remodeled. It's just clean, but nothing crazy. So, is it a deal? Probably not. It's worth, I think, pretty accurate the value. I'll run a couple scenarios for you guys just so you guys kind of are aware of kind of what I look at. So the first one is the size, 2,145 square feet. So the first calculation is pretty simple. Let me see here. If you guys, where's my calculator over here? Can you guys see my calculator? No? Okay. And if you could let that let me see. All right. There's a couple people waiting. All right, here we go. So here's my calculator. So we're just gonna do 1,350,000 divided by 2,145 square feet. Now, before I hit enter, I would say that this area, the homes, the actual single family homes are probably like maybe somewhere in the $700-800 square foot range. So if that number is anywhere in that range, that means it's too high because it's 3 units, it should be less. So I'm looking for probably a number, market value is like 500 to 600 bucks a square foot. So let's see what this 629. So I think it's a little bit above where the range it should be as far as value. So that's like the first indicator. The next indicator is I'm just going to run with the current market rents. So I'm going to do a quick cap rate calculation. So by the way, I'm taking the rent. So there's 3 units. One of them is owner occupied. Uh, the one bedroom is running for 1795. The studio is running for 1475, and the 3 bedroom, one bath, it's not rented. The owner lives there, but they're projecting them at 3,800, which sounds too high. I would say it's, every other rents went down over the last few years. So I would throw a number of 3,200 bucks for the 3 bedroom, one bath conservatively. So a total of 6,470 a month. I'm gonna multiply that by 12 months for the year. That gives me 77,000 a year minus 40% expense rate because when you run a property, you have expenses, taxes, insurance, toilets, tenants, and trash. So that leaves me with 46,000 NOI, net operating income. That's an important number that all investors really consider. So now I'm going to divide it by the asking price. Okay, so and then it's going to give me the cap rate. By the way, I would say before I do a calculation, I would say that the cap rate in this pocket for something like this is probably about 4.5 to to yeah, about 4.5%, maybe up to 5. So if it's anything less than that, it's probably overpriced because the rents are low for sure. So I'm going to do divided by 1,350,000. And again, if that number is 0.03 something, then it's overpriced. There we go, 0.034. So that tells me, hey, they're asking more than what it's worth. Does that make sense? Um, all right. So we'll move on. Let me stop sharing this and start sharing the next one. By the way, I know I went fast on that. Any questions? I'll take questions right here on this because I think that's very important that you guys understand how to do that. Anyone? Questions? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the numbers again, but I'm running it on my property, which is literally on the next block over. Better street because it's not off of Market. Market's a busy street, but here are the rents that I'm going to be getting. I have 2 units that are 2 bedroom, two baths, really nice, brand new. So that's $2,500 a piece times two. And then I have a really nice 1 bedroom with views to downtown, remodeled fully, everything. So I would say that that one's gonna get at least 2,000 bucks. So that's 7,000 a month times 12, 84,000 a year. Now I'm gonna take away 40%, even though I know it's gonna be less because it's brand new rebuilt from the studs out. So the investors probably ballpark it at 37, 38% expense ratio, but I'm still gonna take away 40% to be conservative. That gives me NOI of $50,000 a year. I'm gonna divide that by a cap rate I think it'll sell for. I think it'll sell for like a 4.5% cap. So I'm gonna do 4.5% and let's see what the value is. I'm gonna hit equals. Please give me a high number. Dang it, 1,120,000. So um that's that's kind of it. If I want to do double check, if I want to just see what'll happen if they give me a little bit more, then I would just do this number and I'll just divide it by 4.25% on actuals. And they might give me 1.2 million because it's remodeled, you know, strong rents, not even remodeled, rebuilt. So anyhow, that's how you kind of run the numbers. So I would say that my property, when it's all said and done, it's going to be worth 1.2 million. Bought it for like 630, I think, 2 years ago. Not bad, but not great, just decent. All right, to condo. By the way, I don't know if you guys have SEMLS, but this condo thing was like brand new. Before, you used to say attached, and it throws off, you know, some things. So this one, condo in Logan Heights for 775. I don't think it's a deal. I think it's at 450 bucks a square foot with downtown views. I think it's cool to live in, but I don't know if it's a deal, right? Um, Definitely cool to live in. Um, 31st Street townhome. My first reaction is it looks like a house. Doesn't look like a townhome. So my first reaction is it might be a mistake. I'm not sure. Um, Second thing is like the neighborhood's really good. South Park, 31st and Grape. So I think there's an opportunity for this to be a good deal. 1.4 million potential mistake. Let me hit the tax record real quick so we could all see whether it's a mistake or not. Yeah, it's a residential duplex and they're listing it as a townhome. So right here you see duplex. This person lives in Menifee. So I don't know if they hired like a Menifee agent maybe that doesn't really understand the market. 2 units, 1,000 square feet. So the next thing I look at is 1,000 square feet. So this just tells me that it's overpriced. If they're asking 1.4 million, they're asking 1,400 bucks a square foot for a duplex. It's like that's insane. So it's not a deal. Next thing is the lot size is like just standard 4,100, nothing crazy. And then if I look at the photographs, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a house with garages. Oh man, these photos are terrible. Um, Sheesh. Yeah, really bad photos. Um, and then it says tenant, let me see, do not disturb tenant or go on the property. Front home has a tenant month to month basis paying 33.50 a month. Um, and then it was previously rented for the current estimates was 2,100. So anyways, overpriced, not a good deal. Let me move on. And then they listed it. So he listed it as a townhome and a duplex. Well, at least she's
Altair,
yeah,
Frankie Menace. Question: how many days on the market is this thing?
2 days on
Okay,
one, and then the other one 4 days.
so this is going to be sitting for a minute because it's overpriced, right?
Yes.
So would you keep this on your radar, or would you just maybe submit a lower offer on it right now?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it just depends how much time I got. Like for example, I mentioned the person was a Menifee and the agent, like the first one was like, wow, it's a town, they listed it as a townhome, person's a Menifee. Maybe they got an out of town agent. Right here, I'm looking at the agent, it's like a 619 number. So I was like, okay, maybe a local agent. Um, and then I noticed that they listed it again on under 2 to 4. So it's like, okay, like they didn't completely drop the ball. They're just trying to get some more.
Right.
eyeballs, it sounds like. So I wouldn't put it on it's just too far off, like as far as the value. Now, what I did like about it, Frank, which I didn't mention, but the only thing I did like about it, guys, is that their mortgage is small. It's
Right.
$152,000. And their taxes are small. So that means that they've owned it for a long time, since 2003. And which is always good because I think sellers are just have more wiggle room when it comes to negotiating. So that's the only thing I liked about it. But I, but yeah, and then as an investor, yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking at it from as an investor, you just write the offer today for, a million, 1.9. It's worth more. It's worth, I would say, like for a duplex, but it's small. If those numbers are real, 1,000 square feet, then it's, you know, maybe somebody might buy it for a million, but if it's larger, then which could be a mistake, it could be larger.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I would just if it's 1,000 square feet, I might say, hey, here's an offer for 800, cash, but uh,
Do you think there's a possibility for a seller carryback?
or write an offer for seller carryback. Yeah, like here, I'll do it for 800. Seller carries back, 600,000. By the way, if anyone's looking for seller carryback, I got a guy right now that's thinking about to duplex in Grant Hill, no, Stockton area, 2 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath each, 825, 850, and he'll carry back with $200,000 down, which isn't a great deal, but it's good for somebody that has 200,000 and maybe just wants to build out the garage ADU. But um, all right, let's see this one. Says 6,000 square foot lot, Skyline 889. This is just like market potentially, not a good deal. Moving on. Lemon Grove, 2 units. Nick Franco. Okay. Unit 2 is a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Unit 1 is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So these are large units, 2 on 1. I like this for someone like that's gonna live in one. Let's say two brothers, they buy property together. They each qualify for 450,000 dollar loan, but instead of buying two condos, they just buy this 2 on 1, and they're pretty large. 2 bedroom and a 3 bedroom, large lot. That's who I like this for. I wouldn't say it's like an investor would buy it, but especially at 935. But I think like someone buying it together could make something like this work. Madera 92114. It's not a deal. 950 for an attached. Again, this might be one of those things where it's a house, but they're it's three right here. Let me read this. Three income generating units converge into one unique property for under $1 million. So again, I don't know why it's saying attached. I don't know if it's something with the MLS or just agents are just making mistakes. But with that being said, let me click the next one. It might be the next one has 3 units. Nope. By the way, has this happened to a lot of you guys? My MLS keeps refreshing, like it just kicked me out. Has anyone else seen that, or is it just my computer?
Gio said, yeah.
This is crazy. So log me out now. So Gio said, yeah, it's crazy. This happens throughout the day and it just wastes so much of my time. Um, let's report this to MLS because it's been happening to me for like the last month. It's crazy. What am I doing? Let me go back to where I was at. It's unfortunate too because we pay so much and we have so many members. You would think that they have like the technology down pat. Um, and you would think we have an app that we could use that's as good as Zillow and Redfin and all these with so much money, but it's not the case. All right. So let me go back. We're on number 10 out of 11. It's gonna kick me out again. Let me see. Yeah, kick me off.
Don't worry, they'll send you a notice if you make a mistake on the MLS with your verbiage. Work on
Oh yeah, they got that department down pat.
that. Yep. You
They got
cannot.
some work. What's up?
They'll tell you, you cannot. I'm like, you know what you guys cannot do?
Yeah, for real. So look at this is my Dead Street property. We're here. So for some reason it caught my attention because right here it said attached, but it doesn't look like attached. It looks like a house. So that's what got me reading the remarks because I don't always read the remarks, but right here it's saying that it's getting $6,000 a month. Um, and I'm looking for the next thing, which is called unit mix, that tells me how many bedrooms and baths is each unit, but it's not giving me that. And it says it's on a big lot, 19.19 acres. So now I'm gonna open up the well, I thought I was gonna open up the tax record. Let me try that again. Actually, let me do this. 916 my data. I'm gonna go just write it in. That way, hopefully it doesn't kick me out. 914 my data. Okay, it's not popping up. Maybe because it has multiple addresses. Nope, I don't see it. Maybe it's crazy. We got to go through all this just to see if, let me see, 16, 14,
Maybe
18.
just 916, it'll pop up.
I think that's the, oh, there we go, 916. Oh, it's okay. So it's 914, 916, and 912 maybe? Oh, no, single family home. So now it's like, okay, is it really a triplex or is it a single family home? If it's a triplex, I mean, it seems like it could be a good deal. But if it's single family home, then it's not. So what should you do? What's the next step? Anyone got the next step for me?
I'm looking at previous listings to see what it was listed as in the past, if at all.
Okay, that's a good thing.
How about the lot size?
Yeah, the lot size where it says 19.19 acres.
Gio said
Um,
call the listing agent.
there we go. I think Geo wins it. I'm gonna call the listing agent right now and figure out what's up. Because lot size is there. I don't see any other listings. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. I'm Andrew. Hey, Andrew, this is Voltaire Lappe. I'm a real estate broker. And yeah, how you doing? Good, good. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing well, doing well. Cool. Hey, I was calling in regards to your 916 Madera. Yes. Yeah, so I'm reading the remarks. It says it's 3 units, 6,000 a month in income. Yeah, so the pro forma would be about 6,000. So right now so there's a 1-1 on the side. The main house is a 1-1 with like the main house is like the center of it. And that's got, it's like a big footprint. And then there's a small 1-1 like on the side. And then the garage is currently being converted. They're just waiting on the stamp of approval from the city. Oh, got it. Okay. So yeah, they turned it into 3 units. And between the three of them, the third one, they're assuming going to get about 850 for that. The 1875 is coming from the smaller unit, and then the middle one is 3250 a month. Got it. All right. So can you repeat the bedrooms and baths again? Sorry. Yeah, so on tax, I don't know what the original layout is. To be honest, I had an issue with figuring that out. It shows on the tax roll as a 4-bedroom. But they are all going to be, so there's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit is the main home. It's very roomy. There's quite a bit of space. That one is renting for 2,300. There is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath on the side, on the street that's on the Wonderland Avenue side. And then the garage is being converted. It's basically done. So to be a studio
with a bathroom equipped, full kitchenette, all that. And that one is the one that's currently being signed off on. So I think this week or next week, we'll have the final stamp of approval from the city.
Got it.
That one is the only one that's unrented, but it's completely remodeled.
Okay, cool. So it's basically it's two one bedrooms and then a studio.
Two one bedrooms and a studio, yeah. 2,300 from the main one, and then 1,875 from the side unit, and then they're expecting about 1,850 from the garage conversion.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
All right, bye. All right, so that's not a deal. This thing kicked me out again. Let's go. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, maybe we go old school, right? Just random, just maybe not. So that wasn't a deal. Three one bedrooms and one of them isn't even the third one isn't even permitted yet. All right, so if you want to do old school, you just go here, active, back on market. Let's throw some coming soons in there. And then we just pick something. So I want to pick 3 to 4 units because I got a client right now looking for 3 to 4 units. I'm going to pick under 2 million. So it's going to be a big search. I'm going to type in some zip codes that he would be interested in. So I'm just doing 92104. I'm doing 92102. Anywhere central San Diego near the office. That's kind of where he wants to be. He wants to live in one, rent out the others. And then I'm going to go in with listing date. Listing date, I want to say this month. So I want to see all the new stuff. There's 7. So I got 102, 103, 104. I don't want 105, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'll try 115. I think that's about it. So there's only 7 under 2 million, 3 units. And then hopefully this doesn't kick me out. So the first one, I already left a message for this. I don't know if you guys saw this go on the market, but I left a message for the agent. He hasn't called me back. It's 3 units for 495. Now this is a good deal. But they have a bunch of offers they're going to present on Sunday, and I don't know. I don't know where it's at. The agent hasn't hit me back. Uh, Next one's a really nice property. I already seen this one, 3 units. She did a great job because this is like in the hood, but she made it look really nice. They're all one bedroom, small, tiny, but um, I mean, she fixed it up. By the way, obviously the Wi-Fi here is slow. Um, Let me just close that out. We'll just keep looking. I was just gonna show you the photos that they're really nice, but we'll just keep looking. The next one, 21st Street, we just saw it. Louisiana, in North Park, 11 days on the market. I checked this out already. It's let's check it out again. Let me see. It's a 2 bedroom, 2 bath house, and then 2 1-1s. The rent is super low on this one. Super low on this one. I mean they're way under market. And this is right by the Lafayette. So I think the Lafayette is it's a little bit down this way. So it's close by, you know the area. And it says University Heights. Um, Let me read this to see if there's anything else that's missing. Let me see. 1 car garage, number of units for garage 1. 1.5 million. I think it's worth looking at, but the rent seemed low. Hmm. So let's kind of run some numbers real quick and see what potential it has. Um, Let me share. Okay, here we go. So we have the 1-1s could rent for in this area about 2 grand a piece times 2. And then the 2 bedroom, 2 bath, I would call it house about 3,500. So you're looking at about 7,500 bucks a month times 12. That's 90,000 a year in gross rents. I'm gonna subtract the 40% expense ratio, and that's gonna give us 54,000 net. And I'm divided by what they're asking. They're asking for 1.495 million. And let's see what it comes out to be. That's a 3.6%. So 3.6% cap rate is just too low. We need, I think this property is probably somewhere in the 4.5% range. So what does that mean? That means that we got to rerun the numbers, and we just gotta, so we said total of 7,500 bucks a month, which is 90,000 for the year, minus 40% expense rate, taxes, insurance, toilets, tenants, and trash. That is a NOI 54,000. So I'm gonna find out the value, what it's really worth. This is how you find the value. 4.5% cap rate equals the price. So 1.2 million. I mean, I can see why they too low. So when you evaluate a property, here, let me share my screen. When you evaluate a property, we need a bunch of different rules of thumbs. Okay, so the first one that you just saw me use is cap rate. 1 million is, it's worth more than that. The next one is GRM. So let's run a GRM real quick. It was 90,000. And I'm doing this off screen just because it's going to be right here. I might as well just share it. 90,000 times whatever the GRM is. So in this case, I would say the GRM in this area. Does anyone have any guesses? GRM, gross rent multiplier. What do you guys think?
16.
16. Okay, we have 16.
I would
Any
consider
other guesses?
14. I'm not sure if that's too conservative.
Yeah. So I think 16 is too high, 14 is too conservative. So we're going to do 15 GRM times 15 equals 1.35 million. So we just did two analysis, two different prices. One gave us 1.2 million, one gave us 1.35 million. So what's the next analysis that we do? Well, we kind of we could do the price per unit. What do you think the price per unit in this area is?
Like 400,
Okay,
maybe
we
even
have 400.
450.
What's another one? 450. Okay, cool. So I think 450 sounds about right in this area, right? 450 times 3 units, price per unit, this is 1.35 million. So now we have three values, 1.2, 1.35, 1.3. So two of the three values are the same. Now let's we could go on and do more. We could do price per square foot. We could do, which by the way, the area right here is about $1,000 a square foot. But on multi-units, it might be closer to $800 a square foot, 700. So let's look at the tax record real quick. Let's see what let me see. Oh, this is where it kicks me out. Okay.
And while
So
you
we can't
pull that
do price
up,
per square.
Voltaire. Sorry, I was just going to
Uh,
say that it's the second half, and we do have one property in the chat that Frank would like for us to review.
so my point here is when you run an analysis on the property, you have to run multiple. Price per square foot, GRM, cap rate, price per unit, price per door. And then what you'll see is 4 out of the 5 or 3 out of the 5 valuation methods will produce a similar number. So in this case, 3 valuations, it produced two of the 3 produced 1.35 million. So I think the value is somewhere in that range, 1.35 million. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Just to finish these off, and then we'll go to Frank's. Oh, it's gonna kick me out, I think. Yeah. All right, we'll just go to Frank's. All right, what's the address, Frank?
259 Zenith Street, Chula Vista,
All right, Z.
911.
Yeah,
It's not on the
259.
market.
Okay. Let's see if it has. Nope, it's never been on the market.
No, no, my grandfather built this home.
Oh, cool.
They are both asleep now.
All right. Rest in peace. Um, 259 Zenith, and you built it. That's pretty cool.
Down here in the South Bay, we call it Otay.
All right, Otai. So first thing it strikes me is he had a large family. He had to build 6 bedrooms for his kids, and then 3 full bathrooms, 2,200 square feet. So this is like I would think, oversized property, for the neighborhood. I'm assuming, right? But that's my first thought. Um, and then as far as value, is this something that the family's going to end up selling?
We're going to put on the market
Yeah.
soon.
All right.
And
So I'm gonna throw it on here. So the first thing I want to do is kind of get an idea of the area. So yeah, it's right in Otay. There's a lot of industrial. There's a lot of commercial right around this corridor. Um, so hold on a second. Let me let it load. Um, so this is Main Street, right?
correct.
Oh, shops, theme parks, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and then a bunch of big industrial stuff. So anytime that I saw property like around industrial areas, um, in this area specifically too, it has a lot of mobile homes, right? So area is huge. Area is huge, and that doesn't help it, right? All the mobile home parks, industrial stuff, the commercial stuff. Now it's going opposite to see what at the end of the day it's out for whatever the neighborhood's selling for. So we're gonna run comps, and I'm gonna walk you through the way to do comps when it comes to single family houses. What's the condition, Frank? Um, from 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like brand new remodel, and 0 or 1 being like it's inhabitable. And you can't use 7.
I can't use
Not use
seven.
7. Cannot use
So
7.
so kitchens and so they house hacked this thing. There's a two
Mhm.
bedroom in the back with its own kitchen. The main house, I would say it's probably an 8 because they just remodeled the kitchen and a couple of the bathrooms.
Okay, cool. So it's in really good condition. Basically move-in ready. Whoever
Yeah,
buys
I
it's
mean,
gonna maybe tweak a couple things.
we got a home inspection on it, so there's probably gonna need a new roof, some small electrical things we'll take care of, and a couple of small plumbing issues with it.
Okay, cool. So let me throw it on here. Sorry for the delay on this. So the first thing you notice right now when I clicked on detached homes, and then I clicked on the map. So if you guys are following, that's kind of how you start the analysis process. And this map is taking forever. The reason why I like the map is because I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna press copy and paste, and it's gonna pull up the address, and I'm just gonna hit search. Once I hit search, it's gonna locate it on the map, and then I'm just gonna click zero point 0.5 miles. So I like to stay about half a mile radius out from the property. And the only time that you have to be careful with this, well, all the time, but when you do zero point 0.5 is because it's going to pull up both sides of the street. Now, it's going to kick me out. But typically, when you do both sides of the street, if it's a main street, like this one is, what'll happen is sometimes um, it'll like a main street separates like a good area from a not so good area, and then you're going to take comps from both sides of the street. And I've like if I'm in an area where I'm not familiar with, like for example, Temecula, Murrieta, I've done that where like, hey, why is this side of the street selling for way higher than the other side of the street? So you just got to make sure that when you do this radius type of search, when you're running comps, that you take that into consideration, that you're that each side of the street is the same, which in this case, I think it'll be pretty similar. All right. So this map thing is taking forever. I'm gonna do a different way real quick, okay? That way you guys could see two different ways to run comps. So instead of using the map, what
And
I'm
if
gonna
you
do
want
is I'm gonna just
to
go through here.
shut some tabs down, I'm sure it'll help run fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I thought it was just because I'm tethering off my phone, but okay. So first thing is detached. Second is active pending solds. Third is I'm gonna go back 6 months. Now the reason why I think I can get away with just the zip code on this one, and not the map, is for the following reason. Because it has 6 bedrooms, and it's 2,266 square feet. There aren't too many homes, I think, that size. So if I do minimum 5 bedrooms, that's what I would compare it to. There's only 20. You see how that works? If you do minimum 3 bathrooms, there's only 17 total, 5 bedroom, 3 baths. If I do minimum, theirs is 2,200 square feet. If I do minimum, like, I don't know, 1,700 square feet,
Awesome.
then there's still about 17. Um, at the same time, if I do maximum, uh, for like 27, 2,800 square feet, it might chop down one or two. Let's see. Error. Oh, dang it. Almost had it. Try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I got to get back to you on the value. Um, yeah. And by the way, I worked on a client's portfolio over the last few weeks. He had 54 doors here in San Diego, a bunch of duplexes, triplexes, all kinds of stuff, fourplexes. And this happened to me time and time again. And it was frustrating. And I got it done, but I wasn't happy. Um, what's going on? Let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. And by the way, Raul, maybe you could help me with this. I It might be because I'm not running like the newest version of some type of Chrome or something. But if you could reach out to the MLSC, there it goes, error, and find out why it's not working. But it's not working on my laptop, it's not working on anywhere. I'm gonna try one more thing before I give it up. I will try, let me see real quick. Let me pull up, I've been using Chrome, and I'm gonna try Safari. And I'm gonna look for it real quick. Safari. And see if that works. Hopefully it has my login saved. And there we go. Enter passcode. Let me see if it has it saved. Okay. So let me share my screens. Hopefully it works. All right, here we go. Safari. Okay. So far, so good. I'm gonna hit search, residential. Mm-mm-mm. Perfect. So I'm gonna go back to detached, active, pending, sold. I'm gonna go back 6 months, and I'm gonna do coming soon as well, just in case. Bedrooms, 5, 3 bathrooms, 6 months. Uh, zip code 91911. Dang it. Nah, it's not. All right. I think we're gonna stop it there. What questions you guys have about running scenarios and numbers or anything else?
So on this property, I got a question.
Yeah.
Is there any value in a sense from a house that they square footage is there, everything's there, but they're using it section of it a 2 bedroom, 1 bath.
Yeah.
Any add
So,
value?
yeah, does it have kitchen and all that you said, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a perfect world, you get it permitted, right? Which takes, 6 months, and it's got to be in good enough as far as like the work had to be done good enough to be, considered per code or pretty close to it. So yeah, I think would it add value? And or at that point you can advertise that as a house plus an ADU. Right now you might be able to get away with a house plus an unpermitted ADU. Um, because if you think about it, 2,200 square feet, if you have a 1,500 square foot house in Chula Vista, that area, people are very happy with 1,500 square feet. And then the difference between that and 2,200 is 700. And if you have a 2 bedroom ADU, 700 square feet, like they're extremely happy. Um, and I think people would prefer something like that rather than having a 6 bedroom house, because it's like at that point, like I don't know too many people with that many kids, right now. Um, the other thing that I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't know if the zoning would allow it, but one of those um, businesses that run, because there's specific people that have told me over the years, hey, if you find me a house with 6 bedrooms, I'm definitely look at it. I'm definitely a potential buyer, because they could turn into some type of facility. I forgot if it's nursing facility or what they're called exactly. So
Right.
I would say that there's value in that alone, 6 bedroom house. Um, actually, I remember two of the people have told me that over the years. I'll reach out to one afterwards. Right now, I'll see if it's an agent that's always looking for his clients. He always calls me, hey, do you have any 5 bedroom houses or more? Um, so to answer your question, if the house, let's say, is worth 850,000 or somewhere in that range, would it be worth more if it was a 4 bedroom, 2 bath and a 2 bedroom, 1 bath? I would say it would be. I would say um, that value to me sounds higher, sounds like 900. So as a house, to me, the value in my head is like 850. As 2 units that are large like that, I would say it's probably like nine, ish. So just off the top of my head. So yeah, I would say that it would add value. Whether it's permitted or not, I think somebody would
Right.
look at it and be like, yeah, this is this
It,
is
yeah, square footage, everything's all permitted, just
yeah,
how they packed
yeah,
it. That makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
Don't
you-
oh,
Hey, good afternoon.
no, Frank.
Sorry, guys. Frank, I have a client who has a house on Montgomery, which is not too far
Yep.
from there.
I'm very familiar.
Um, However, her property has access through the back alley as well.
Yep.
She separated the house, and I think she's renting a 2-1 in the backside with the alley. And she's collecting, I think, about close to $2,500.
Okay.
And but it does have access to an alley and they fit about 2 cars in there. So that might give a little bit more value. And I think she just got it appraised close to $1 million.
Okay.
And that was unpermitted.
Right.
So just to give you an idea.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And Voltaire, give me a call later on whenever you got a chance. I'd like to run a couple different thoughts for you on that one.
Okay. Yeah, and if there's anything right now that I can answer, let me know. I'm down.
Yeah.
And what else? What other questions does anyone have about running analysis numbers? By the way, this is what got me doing this daily, got me good. I got in 2011, I think I got my biggest listing I ever got, which was at that time bottom of the market. It was $11.1 million. And the reason why I got that listing, I beat out 14 other brokers, like very experienced brokers. Back then, I think I was 25 or 26 when I got that listing, and I beat out 40, 50, 60-year-old brokers that were not happy that I won their listing. But the reason why I won it is because my valuation, uh, my cap rate, my GRM, everything was exactly the same as the appraisal that came in. Where these other guys, they were close, they were at 10.5 million, 13, they're even higher. Some of them were 13, 14 million. And but mine was right on exactly the same as the appraiser, so they went with me. Um, but I think it was because I was just practicing these numbers all the time, and just so it goes a long way. You could it'll help you in the future. Um, who was gonna say something? Anyone else?
Hey there, it's Holly.
Hey, hi.
I'm wondering, I feel like we need like math homework. Like maybe we could be given a couple properties to evaluate, and then when we come in on Tuesday, we can cross-check our stuff and see what we did wrong, because I feel like that's a huge learning tool.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Where the first half we could look up properties on them. The last second half is you guys help me evaluate all my all my properties I got to evaluate for my clients. I'd be like, all right, double check this. I think
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
and then
just
that way
pick
you guys.
random ones like the day before or whatever. They don't necessarily have to be on the list of the day, but just for practice sake, because I feel like I do these sometimes, and then I ask you to do, say like the OB ones, and then I'm not right on. So I know there's fine tuning I need to do, but I feel like then we can ask more questions and fine tune our own when we see what we did wrong.
Yeah, I like that. And I remember when I was first learning this stuff in the mid 2000s. I remember thinking, man, I have to like do this intentionally. I have to wake up every morning, jump on my computer, run analysis on properties that have no significance to me or no meaning to me, which is like, it's hard. That's like, it's way easier when you have to do it. When a client says, hey, can you tell me what my property's worth? And then you do it for the client because you said yes and you owe them that analysis and it might turn into a deal. But when it doesn't turn into a deal and you're just practicing, the significance is gone. It's like shooting baskets in the gym and it's just you. But when you're in the game and you're playing, you're like, okay, I got to make these. Like these count, I just can't. It's easier to show up to a game than it is to practice. So yeah, we could do something like that where like I do, if I was to guess, between Claudia and myself, we do, I don't know, like 15 evaluations every 2 weeks, minimum. Last week was crazy. We just did so many, or the last 2 weeks. But yeah, some of those we could just email them to you guys or put them as part of this calendar invite. And you guys could just like run numbers on them. And then you guys could share your numbers. And then I'll tell you what our numbers were. And then that way you could be like, okay, cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah, because if not, unless you're practicing hoops, you're not going to bring that to the game anyways. You have to practice two hoops.
Have to, yeah. Well, there's some people that
Yeah.
show up with no practice, and those I like it when those guys guard me.
That's an expensive mishap if you're not practiced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get that $11 million listing, that would have been a huge blow.
Holly's
Okay.
representing WNBA.
I know nothing about it.
All right,
Cool.
cool.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. And then I think the next events are gonna be well next Monday, Fast Forward Movement. They're having a meetup in Del Mar. I'm gonna show up. It's the first time they do an actual like just meetup just to link up like network type deal. Like there's no education piece. There's no learn this, we're gonna teach you that, or masterminding or master classes. Just strictly just meet up, hang out, get to know one another. So I think I'm going, and I'm gonna meet some other, top agents in the community, and then that way when a deal comes, when you see their name on a listing, you guys have met each other. So I'm going to that. You guys should definitely join. And then next Wednesday, the 23rd, I think, or 22nd, there's going to be a thing at Mark Patterson's office right here in North Park. And it's going to be a panel, and we're just going to be sharing different stories about different things. And so it's another opportunity to meet Fast Forward Movement and our upline. So hope to see you guys then. Peace out. Enjoy your day. Later.